More fun learning Basic 3.5 on the Commodore 16. Here's a game I wrote. Took me like 2 3 hours, and it's a simple game. It's based on Simon Says. If anybody remembers the old electronics game from I think Milton Bradley. I'm not sure. That looked like a round flying saucer with actually it looked like the spaceship on the ELO album covers. Did it not? I don't know. Anyways, so this is basically an homage or my take on that game. This is called Simon's Way, and it's Simon the cicada from Seattle, and he's to challenge you to copy his tunes. Okay, so I want to start this from the beginning, show you how it plays, and then I'm gonna go through the program listing and show you how I wrote it, and a big thanks out there to Plus Four World Forum. I think that's the name of it. I got code off their forum that I'm using in this game, slightly modified, but it came from that was the source. Okay, so thanks George and all George's buddies. I appreciate that code. It's really helpful. And if I use any more code from you guys, I'll be sure and say, hey, this is where I got it. Okay, now I'm going to start it from the beginning so you can see it loading, the whole thing. Alright, now see, old Simon there, the cicada, just played a little diddly. No, we got to copy it. I already forgot what it was. Hey, no, I won. Okay. So, oh man, I missed that one. So I got it wrong. Alright. So you get the idea. It's basically Simon Says. Now, I'm going to go through the program listing. And for that, I'm going to go full screen. Alright. Let me get a little bit more of that listing on the screen if possible. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so we're clearing the screen. We're setting the FI string is the name of the file for the title screen that we need to load in. That's what Ghost of 2000 is. That's the title screen loader routine. We change a couple of items of text on the screen, and we go to 500. That's the main loop of the game. 30, 40, 50, and 60, those lines will draw, well, they go sub the routine, which is 100, which draws the squares individually. It will highlights them. You can supply that routine with the parameters of X, Y, A string, and in A string you can give the index of the color you want, by pressing Control or Commodore key and one of the number keys to get a color. Okay, now going past that, line 70 is the beginning of the computer logic. So it gets a random number from 1 to 4, and based on that, it goes subs one of those routines and highlights and makes the sound for the square. Okay, so line 100. Went past it every time. Oh, every time. Except this time. Okay. So at line 100, that's the routine that just basically draws the square. And it gets all its parameters from whoever called it. You got to supply an X, Y, A string, and that jazz. Alright. Line 200, that's the pause routine. That's like a second and a half, something like that. 300 is player input. 1 through 4 matches the squares there. I don't think we've got anything past that. Let's see. No. Okay. So at 500, that's the main loot, and H is the difficulty level, basically, how hard the game is. And you know, if you win, you advance to the next level. The game gets harder, and if you lose, then the game resets itself and goes back to the original difficulty level of 3, which just plays 3 notes on the screen that you have to copy. Line 700 on, which, I mean, now I can just list the whole thing, because 700 on is basically the end of the listing. Player wins, just advances the level, plays a little, you know, you won sound, you know, prints it on the screen, waits for approximately a second, and goes back. Now line 2000 through 2070, that's the code that I got from +4 World Forum, and I modified it just slightly to because originally it was set up to load a file, to load a graphics image, either multicolor or high resolution. So I've got it basically just loading the color and text map, you know. So, well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Feel free to type in that code, list it, give it away. I don't care. Let me show you how to do a graphics screen real quick. So to create the graphics, you can do that yourself, just like I did. Now the way I did that, go into the machine language monitor by typing monitor, clear the screen, simply, you know, draw your graphics. You know, go to the last 3 lines here. Type S for save. Say my graphic 1. The device number, and now you got to give it the coordinates. I think that's it. That should save the color and the text map, the whole shebang. Alright, now let's validate that works by clearing the screen, doing a load. Come 8 for the device, and there's the graphics. Okay, and it saves the color too if you put that in there. So that's how you cut the graphics for this game. It's it's not very long, so you can pause the video and actually type it in, and you can repost it or post it in the comments. If you've updated the game, made changes to it, leave a comment about it, you know, that way, you know, you can go to your channel and check your stuff out, you know, if you modified it or whatever, or if you got your own, you know, basic game. So that's just a real simple basic program that I wrote that you could have found back in the magazines back in the 80s. You know, usually you had a simple basic program. Some magazines had better programs than others. You know, the really good ones were written in machine language, but you had some good ones written in basic. So, you know, and some of those might use some machine language routines. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Post comments below. I want to hear from you. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.